if it's your ox, because there is no public discourse anymore. There's no debate. There's no real discussion because, and I'm not picking a side on that because it seems to be very widespread, and I don't think that refusal to answer. I will say that the person that sat in the street screaming at the sky
Right.
was an idiot. What were they hoping
Yeah.
to accomplish? I mean, get up and go and have a discussion with someone, create a forum, have, other people join in the discussion, be willing to hear other thought processes, and learn to communicate as an adult and realistically. Not everybody's going to
I
agree.
think
It's
that is such a
okay.
major problem these days.
It is.
Um, you know, people not it's exactly like you said, people don't have discussions anymore. They have arguments. And, a major flaw is people don't listen to understand. They listen to reply.
Yes.
Um, and, you can't have a fruitful, productive conversation if you're not listening to comprehend, okay, well, how does this person see it? What is going on? If the only reason you're listening is knowing, hey, I've got this good argument point that I can throw in right here, then waste your time. And we don't see enough of that. Nowadays it's like people put their ego too much out front, and they put things, just ideas, um, they they hold them as personally invested. String theory, for instance. You know,
Oh,
string.
yes.
I, I, you know how I feel about string theory. I love string theory. I hope that that's the one because I just love the way it operates.
I do too.
But, it might be wrong. But
Well,
however,
there's
I'm
parts of
not
it I
going
don't
to have a
understand.
heated. Well, see, and like with me, I'm not going to have a heated debate and um, throw personal insults and things like that into someone over string theory. Why? Because it's not. I'm not the person who thought of it. Granted, as much as I like that theory, if it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. And that's something I don't know. And I only wish that I'd been a fraction as smart as the people responsible for putting it together. But I'm not personally invested in it. And, so you're not going to hurt my feelings if you say, that theory is wrong.
Well, that's
I
not
don't have to
always.
defend it.
That's not quite true. That might hurt your feelings.
Okay, yeah, it would hurt my feelings a little because I really like the way it's laid out, but
I know.
nothing I wouldn't get over.
Right. Well, my problem with that is residual activity
Mhm.
because I absolutely, yeah, I told you that when I went and saw that movie, Interstellar, that
Mhm.
was my aha moment on grasping string theory.
Mhm.
And I know that sounds simplistic, but I was having trouble wrapping my mind around a couple of different aspects. And when I saw that movie, I'm in the middle of a crowded theater. I was like, that's string theory. Got it. Right.
Mhm.
And so then I was asked to leave and not come back. Not really. They didn't tell me to leave, but I got it there.
Mhm.
And I think it's wonderful, except that if the crossing of if the strings coming together and something popping out is
Mhm.
what paranormal experiences are, then
Mhm.
I think that residual hauntings or experiences are the thing that makes me go relevant to that. Maybe it's the exception that proves the rule. I don't know. But I just find that to be an interesting concept.
Mhm. Well, you have to consider that the reason we call it paranormal is because it's the glitches. It's the things that aren't supposed to happen, aren't supposed to be. We don't have the understanding of the universe yet to explain why these things happen. And granted, in 100 years, it might not be paranormal. 100 years from now, we might completely understand it and it be taught in a middle school textbook. But um, the big thing about it is everything all encompassing of the paranormal is those glitches. It is that side effect of the popping.
Yes.
And so what happens, that I'm so glad that you use that analogy, because you know people forget you can't understand the side effect, the byproduct of that popping, if you don't understand the main process.
You're right.
You have to. I can't explain fire to, or I can't explain smoke to you if you don't understand how fire works.
That's true.
And that's what a lot of people are doing in the paranormal, unfortunately, is they're not educating themselves. They're not trying to reach the basic understandings. And what happens with you know okay, we have this biological occurrence, this geomagnetic occurrence, this, these basic physical science, basic biology, those things that we all need to be familiar with. If we don't understand what those processes are, how they work, what they're capable of, then everything is going to be paranormal, because we're not going to personally have the understanding or comprehension to explain it and say, oh, no, that's just this.
You're right. We have these discussions all the time relevant to
Mhm.
the different theories and the different applications of them. But I really love string also. I just think
Mhm.
that I think that it is going to be proven at some point. I don't know which generation is going to find the methodology to do that. I think that,
Mhm.
yeah, you had mentioned the Mandela effect. And if you're going to talk
Mhm.
about glitches and hiccups in the string theory or the residual effects, then I think that that can fall into that realm, don't you?
Mhm.
Because
Absolutely.
it's something that you
That.
just don't understand, but it's I don't care what people say, there are instances and I've
Mhm.
experienced some of them. So
Mhm.
I just find that to be a very interesting thing. And I don't care how many times somebody tries to tell me that what I know and personally experienced didn't really happen. It did. I personally
Mhm.
experienced some of the things that they say are, didn't occur. And I don't know why they do these things. They being whoever is trying to protect the public from a panic. That's what I think the issue is. Because, War of
Mhm.
the Worlds was a test and we failed it. I mean,
Oh,
I,
miserably.
the first broadcast I really believe was a test on, whether we were going to be told that aliens are the real thing. And as a society, it failed miserably.
Mhm.
So,
It, you know, too, the can you imagine, if so much of this information that these professors have been teaching for years, these researchers have built their whole career around one particular theory or idea or discovery. And here it is, you come along and you say, that's wrong. Here, I can prove it. How well do you think that's going to go over?
well, I don't think anybody else would hear from you again if it was the right academic.
Right.
They would not hear your theory or your proof.
No. And that would be the easiest way for your credibility to disappear, your tenure to disappear, your income to disappear, if you yourself don't disappear. And I believe that a lot of that happens.
I believe it does
I
too.
really do. So that, that's the big thing is it in order for there to really be a change, for us to get a lot of true information, for one, um, the the people relaying the information are going to have to give up the political bias. It doesn't matter which side a news agency or any type of informational source. It doesn't matter which side they claim is their affiliation. If I see them endorse a candidate or endorse a party or whatever, that's the last that I ever follow
Yes.
because that I know that what I get isn't going to be true actuality. It's going to be skewed to support an idea.
You're
And
right.
once you put that claim out there of we support this, then that tells me, well, this information here that goes against what you're supporting isn't going to be published, and it might be something I need to know. And I don't care who it is they support. If they're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green Party, it don't matter. If they when they say we support this, we do this, they're saying we're biased and lean this way.
Yes. So few
And the
people
same,
understand that.
hmm that, that's the same as on investigations. The silent ghost box experiment that we do.
Hmm.
Um, that is the reason that I do that. Is I don't want the answer that we receive to be biased because if I ask the question, if I say, "What's your favorite color?" then I'm automatically listening for a color.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
anything that comes through that sounds even remotely similar, my mind's already making up, you know, or preparing for that response. When what we actually get might have nothing whatsoever to do with the question that I asked. Um, and the that's the same way our information needs to be. And I don't even trust. That's why I do that experiments. I don't even trust myself to not be biased.
Well,
I don't want to have that subconscious bias that affects the outcome of my investigation.
we all have that though, and that's why it's imperative that you find methodologies to remove that where you can, like you have with that experiment, which worked
Well,
brilliantly, by the way.
oh yeah, I was pleased with it. You know, something that we have to do is first off, we have to realize no matter how much we want to believe something, um, one, our we are, nobody is perfect. We are humans. We will make mistakes. We will get information wrong. We can have we can subconsciously have bias toward one result or another, and we cannot trust our minds half as much as we think we can.
I think half is being generous.
Right. That you know that's something that people fail to realize. And that's a lot of the reason why I lean more toward the skeptical side of paranormal research is, you know, it doesn't matter how sensational it is. Yes, a personal experience can be very useful information when you're dealing with paranormal activity, but personal experience, no matter who experienced, whether it's somebody on the team or a client, it doesn't matter, is not and will never constitute proof of the paranormal
Oh no, because depending on the
because
day,
Mhm.
their health issues, their mental health issues. There's, am I having a bad day and I'm just seeking, comfort from something, right? What else would you apply to
Mhm.
that?
Well, our perception